All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Aggressively Wrong.
Yay!
Those of you that have listened and watched before, you already know me and Drama and Todd. These other two that are joining us now down there taking a drink was my beautiful wife Danielle, and then over there with the glasses and the tall hat, also taking a drink, is her brother Devin. He's going to be with us, I think, as often as possible. Danielle, same thing, as often as she wants to after this bloodbath that this first episode is going to be. We also have kind of a new format that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a draft. After this episode, probably will be pretty well explained how everything's going to work. But I don't know. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us on Facebook, or if you have topics that you want us to do a draft on Facebook, whatever. Most of you probably know at least one of us. Send us a message. We'll get it figured out. So today what we're going to do is we're doing a lead singer frontman draft. We've kind of gone over some weird little stipulations real fast. What that's going to be is if you pick somebody who was a lead singer and then had a very successful solo career after that, their solo career doesn't really mean much as far as my grading of their career as a frontman. For example, like Justin Timberlake, clearly the frontman lead singer of NSYNC for most of the time. You wouldn't be picking him because his solo career is where he was the dude. So you don't want that. What was that, Devin?
He flourished.
He did. He broke out of that NSYNC chrysalis and turned into the beautiful man of the woods butterfly that he is.
He brought sexy back.
He did. He absolutely did. But don't pick him because he was a member.
Because it wouldn't be justified.
I already tried that.
Oh, bravo, Drama. It
Boom.
wouldn't be justified.
Well, yeah.
That's how you kick off an episode right there, my man. All right, so we did a random drawing for draft pick earlier. I might start including that video in the comments or something afterward, just so people don't think that I'm cheating. But Devin won first pick. It's going to be snake draft style. For any of you who don't know what that means, Devin's going to have the first pick, then Todd, then Danielle, then Drama, and then the order flip-flops for the second round. So it would be Drama, Danielle, Todd, Devin, then it flips back. So, let's go ahead and get started here. Devin is going to have the first pick, and
you just read your text.
What's that?
I sent Todd a text about 10 minutes ago. I knew when he read it because he started laughing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, sorry.
I love side conversations. So let's hear it. Let's hear it, Dev. Who's your first pick?
First pick of the 2023 lead singer draft is Tyler Joseph.
Tyler Joseph. Tell us about it, Devin.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Tyler Joseph is the frontman of the successful, I don't even know what genre, but band 21 Pilots. I chose this person, one, because this is the individual that got me into concerts, and is the individual that I think puts the best concert on in the entire world. But not only that, made a genre kind of his own and changed alternative / pop music for like this century.
Who?
Now tell us why you really picked that singer.
So, one, it's my favorite band, but I've seen him 7 times with my sister, and I knew I had to pick this person first because she was going to pick them. So, great lyricist, just great showman, just amazing.
Glad you guys took him because I wasn't.
I don't even know who he is. I'm dead serious. I have no idea who that is.
So the reason I wore those glasses
he's
and the hat.
He's a little bit older, right?
Yeah, I'm 43.
Yeah, Drama's a little bit older.
But still, I listen to music.
He's one of 2 great artists to come out of Ohio. Probably one of the only good things to come out of Ohio.
Yeah, truth.
The
Ohio
second one
is
being
for
Kid
lovers.
Cudi, of course, but
Well, look,
Cheesecake got these
the
out.
irony of you saying that the day after the GOAT, the greatest basketball player of all time, LeBron James.
Why would we stop?
I know that was just
Dude.
Keep it moving.
Okay.
Dude, the,
All right, yeah,
the
keep it
greatest
moving. We don't need to.
the greatest thing was Kareem just taking a drink. Like, I'm gonna have to unretire.
Drama hates LeBron.
I'm about to come
Me
to
too.
the laptop.
I hate LeBron.
All right,
Yeah, I'm not a LeBron.
all
fan
right.
either.
So Drama, you should check out 21 Pilots if you haven't listened to
Yeah,
them.
I think I've heard that band name. I didn't know who the singer was,
Yeah,
but I
So
know
they're-
I've heard that band
they're
name. I've
strong.
probably heard at least some of their music.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure you have.
I think-
they're a lot
I
better
think
than
something
I
that's-
thought.
2 or 3 years ago, you couldn't go 10 minutes without hearing one of their
Yeah,
songs.
yeah,
probably.
like they've got a bunch of radio
Stressed
stuff. but-
out.
Was any of their
Everyone's heard
songs
Stressed Out.
TikTok trends?
No,
No,
I don't think
okay.
so.
No. They're
no.
better than that.
We got a
they're
kitchen
like
dude
that,
now that he just plays TikTok songs in the back and when it's his
they're
turn
like
to play
that band
music in the
that's like,
kitchen.
hey, we hate what's on the radio, so we're gonna put songs and make songs that aren't meant
then
for the radio,
ironically-
but then
Ironically,
end
they
up
ended up
being-
having a ton of radio hits.
yeah.
But yeah, you should definitely
It's
check
called
them out.
21
All right,
Pilots.
21 Pilots. All right, so Todd, you are next up.
Don't do it,
Let's,
Todd.
Let's hear it, Todd.
I know that I'm not going to pick this guy, and John's going to get him at the end of the round, but I'm going to take Robert Plant.
Yeah, Robert Plant is a good one.
It's an obvious choice for me.
Wait, you said you're not going to take him?
No, I'm taking Robert Plant. The guy I know John wants. I should
Just
take
wait,
him
because
now.
you know who I'm gonna take. So
I
it's all
do.
good. It's done.
But
done and done, 'cause I
I'm
know she's
definitely
not
taking
gonna take
Robert
him.
Plant.
Yeah,
100%.
Robert
No,
Plant.
I
we
think it's
discussed it earlier.
self-explanatory. I mean, Led Zeppelin to me has got one of the greatest catalogs of all time. You could literally grab any album, stick it in. I don't got to skip a track.
Stick it
Love
in.
'em.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
I think you're right, Todd. I think like when I was getting the pictures around so that I could have these beautiful graphics up here, before anybody sent me their list, Robert Plant was the very first person that I Googled to have a
Right.
picture of. And I knew what picture I was going to pick. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Robert
Can you
Plant.
toss that back up
Yeah.
just for a sec? Yeah,
Yeah, that's the one. Look at him. What a
iconic.
weird looking dude.
I think
but
that's like a still from The Song Remains the Same too.
I believe it is.
Yeah, I bet you it is.
Yeah, man.
Great
Robert
pick.
Plant's as iconic as they get. That one doesn't take the kind of politicking that Devin had to put on his. So
See,
Yeah.
I just
I
didn't
almost
choose
put
Robert
him
Plant because I didn't
on-
think I'd be first pick. So
yeah, man, I would have switched lanes there and gone Plant. I thought for sure he was number one pick. All right. Let's move it along to Miss Danielle. I think I know who you're going with, so I'll go start hunting him down real fast. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I am going to go with Dave Grohl because I have loved Foo Fighters for so
Slide-
long,
Slide to your right. Your other right. There you go.
and I finally got to see them in concert this last summer, and then we lost Taylor, and that was hard for me because I have such a soft spot for the whole band, and you really can't go wrong. Like Todd said, you put in an album and you listen all the way through. That's kind of how they are for me.
Yeah, that was another one that I thought for sure. Like I was already mostly because I knew Danielle would pick him if nobody else did. But I assumed somebody would. I mean, this is a guy that's
He was on my list.
yeah. He was on your list, Danielle's list, and Devin made mention. He was like, he would have been on my list, but I know Danielle would take him. So
I can't take that one from her.
yeah.
No.
So yeah, that was
Because you already took Tyler, so
there were like I told Danielle before we started recording, there were only three that were on at least three lists. Nobody was on 4 lists. I couldn't believe it, but
I couldn't believe it either.
That is crazy.
all right. So now Drama, I knew who yours was gonna be too.
It's the easiest pick of all time. It's Maynard James Keenan from Tool.
Ding,
it's
ding, ding.
it's not even close. And you know what? I'll take Tool Maynard, and one of you guys can take a Perfect Circle if you like, because he's had so much success in multiple bands. Like I wouldn't say Pussifer's done that great, but still pretty good. And a Perfect Circle as well. Like it's undefinable. And the other reason I say Maynard is the greatest frontman of all times. I've seen him a lot of times. I've seen a lot of bands. Maynard sounds like he does on the album. Every time I've ever seen him. He's never sounded like crap at the show. Like you go see a Deftones show and Chino sounds like ass. Like it's not even close. Like Maynard, for me, he's the number one my number one vocalist.
One of the best bands from the 90s, man.
Yeah.
There's
He was in my top 5.
They're number one. They're number one on my list of bands that I haven't seen that I want to see. Like there's a lot of bands that I've seen, but man, I've always missed out on Tool, never had the chance to see them. And
the first time I saw him was Ozfest 96 or 98.
That you're really dating yourself there.
Yeah,
but dude, I've been watching them since then, and their stage show has progressed
Devin
so much. It was
Devin was born in 1995.
I was hammered. Like it was a great show. My wife got me tickets when we first got together. She got me tickets, and we went and saw them when they released Lateralis. And their show is just the first time I ever saw him. Maynard was on stage, and he was wearing a white wedding dress, and he was painted half blue and half silver, and he had a gigantic pink mohawk, and was like just leaning into a song. I can't even remember the name of the song from. Maybe it was something off of Anima, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Oh, that absolutely checks out. I have a feeling like 90% of people that are Tool fans that have seen Tool live probably have a story where they're like, and then I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Right?
You know what I mean? Like that's probably how a lot of Tool concert stories end. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's how I feel like Fish concerts are too.
Yeah, Fish. A lot of people.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
They just played for 47 minutes without stopping. What are we supposed to do? They haven't played an actual song in an hour, but they're still playing.
Yeah. Well,
I
and
knew
like
that
I
if Caleb was going to be in on this, it was going to be really hard for him to not fight for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, Tool. What can you say? That's an easy pick. So, all right, that's the first round. Now, Drama, bring it back around for the first pick in the second round.
Now, this is more of a personal pick. This one is more personal for me, but I still think he defined an entire genre of music. You can't, if you think about the genre of music he's in, you can't not think of him, and that's Robert Smith from The Cure. This dude, I'm telling you, has written some of the saddest, awesome songs of all time. Disintegration, one of the best albums ever. Like, it's not even close. Like, and because he's that, like I said, he's the voice of that type of music from the 80s. Like, as soon as you hear it, you know who it is. Like,
absolutely.
Plus that hair, bro.
You know what I think of all the
hair.
time when I think of The Cure? I think of two things, and it's both movie references. I think of the girl in Wet Hot American Summer that looks exactly like Robert Smith.
Yeah.
And then I think of Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer when he's getting ready to play the song for her the first time, and he's like, you'll have to excuse me. I was listening to The Cure a lot when I wrote this. And it's just like, you don't know. It's so perfect. Like that lead into that song might be my favorite Adam Sandler moment ever. Just the look on his face. I was listening to The Cure a lot when I wrote this.
I bet, was I the only person that had Robert Smith on their list?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And you had,
I respect it.
You definitely had the most like unique picks on the list.
Right.
But some of them they didn't shock me because I know you well enough to know, like I knew a few of those were going to be on there. Robert Smith was one that I was like, damn, I guess I didn't think Drama was that into The Cure.
Oh, dude.
And
My
then
daughter's middle name. My daughter's middle name is Elise, and it's because of letters to Elise.
That is some
Dead ass.
super sad
When you were
bastard
talking,
shit,
when you were building it up, I was just like, man, who could he be talking about right now?
Right.
Kier was not at the top of that list.
Right.
Well, especially
But
when he leads,
I respect it.
when he steps from Maynard to Robert Smith, like
Right, exactly,
all you know of Drama's musical taste before he says Robert Smith is that he's a huge Tool fan,
Yeah.
and then he's like, and then this man defined a genre.
I was like,
In your head, you're like,
Yeah,
who the hell
man.
is he
Yeah.
talking about? Where could he be going with this? He already
Every
picked
goth
Maynard.
chick in the
Yeah.
80s and
then
90s.
he said, I was like, oh, you know what? I can't even be
100%
mad.
right.
Yeah, you're
I
100% right.
was like, I know a lot of his picks are gonna be older music, because just from watching like your guys' other podcasts and just listening or whatever, like I could already tell. Like I was like, his picks are just gonna be just in one specific area.
No, they're not.
Just
They're
wait.
in a
I've
they're
got
in a little
more.
bit of a somewhat specific time frame, I guess, but definitely
Yeah.
not one specific area.
Yeah, the genres. I listen to a lot of genres of music, but time frame, you're right. It's
And
80s,
also
90s.
you won't get a
Yeah.
chance to really explore this avenue of it. Drama is the biggest fan of like trap hip hop from the late 80s and early
Oh my
90s that I've
God.
ever met in my life.
Yeah.
So,
it's true.
let's not-
I'd have Old Dirty Bastard on this list if I could, but he was not a front man.
Yeah, no. Devin said that he was like, "Who
We
do
just
you even
need to-
call the front man of Wu Tang?" There's like
That was
11.
right.
We just need to
Right.
do it.
We had a
Me
whole
and
conversation
Dad.
about this.
Yeah.
We had a whole. I was like, "Fuck, I want to put, but
No.
you can't."
No,
You
we need to
can't.
have
You
a
just
draft
can't.
of off the wall obscure rappers that you love.
Oh,
I have
I
to
know
have.
my
I would
first
love to host that.
because John and I will take the
Maybe-
same guy.
Maybe we let
Yeah.
Danielle host that one so I can draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll host that one.
I was gonna say you can't not be in that episode, Caleb. I'm sorry, but you have to be
I have to.
Yeah.
participating.
Okay, so who do we got? We got Danielle up next,
Yep.
and this could go a lot of ways. I think.
I know. I'm really struggling with my picks,
think I know.
to be honest. Like,
Let's hear
I
it.
think I know.
Did Drama go twice though? Are we snake drafting
did.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went twice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Robert
sorry.
Smith.
I
And,
wasn't even pick-
yeah.
Remember, he almost cried when he was talking about Robert Smith.
Yeah, I
I
forgot
did.
about that.
I forgot to put my eyeliner on. I needed eyeliner.
I think I'm gonna go with Stevie Nicks.
That's
She
a
was on
pick.
my list.
Yo,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not the front. She is not the front man.
She's the
I-
front woman.
I think
She's the front
I
woman.
think she is. I've gone my whole life listening to this band, and if I have to say, "Oh, who's your favorite band? Who's your favorite band?" I almost always pick Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, 100%.
My mom listened so much, and I can't not put them in at least my top 5.
Well,
The-
my
The
mom.
greatest accomplishment from Fleetwood Mac was being a TikTok hit.
Whoa.
No.
Dude, Stevie Nicks has got pipes, bro.
Yeah.
Stevie
So-
Nicks can
so-
blow.
I just wanted
bro.
to see everybody's face. Focus emotions.
Now I will say that
She
was
might
maybe the
be
best,
top 3.
the best TikTok
So Caleb and I
praise
talked
of the
about
whole
this.
pandemic was
We
absolutely.
both watched it on
Especially
mute
the
to
one
start
guy.
off, and then that started playing. We're like, "Wow, why is this song?" Oh wait, he's mouthing the lyrics. This is on purpose.
Yeah, so good.
Stevie Nicks was
She's
my
good.
9-year-old crush. 9-year-old me was absolutely in love with Stevie Nicks and that long
Yes,
draping
I think
black
if I could
dress.
have anybody's style, it would be her. If I could just go through her closet, I'll take anything.
Stevie Nicks is still kind of 39-year-old me's crush. Every once in a
Yeah.
while, I see Stevie Nicks and I'm like, man. And young Stevie Nicks, my goodness.
Yes.
I mean,
she's
You and I talked about this, Caleb. This was a band I brought up that I wanted to talk about, but I was like, I don't know who the front man is. Like,
Well, it's
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. I mean, the band,
It's
yeah,
Stevie
sure.
Nicks.
Mick Fleetwood is the leader of the band in name and like on magazine covers. But think of every Fleetwood Mac song that you love. What's the best part of it?
not always Stevie Nicks.
Almost
Her-
always Stevie Nicks.
Her voice.
Not always.
Yes.
Almost always.
I agree with you, Danielle. Though I obviously I love Fleetwood, but
She
I
was
have
on
no-
my
I-
list.
she
Yeah, I
wasn't
have
on my
no
list because I was
objection.
like, I don't know if I can call her a front woman
Yeah. It's
because
difficult,
Fleetwood,
but if
all
you-
of Fleetwood
when
is
you-
so amazing. Like you take out
Yeah.
one of them and it's not Fleetwood.
We just
It's
lost
not.
one of them.
Yeah, when you hear that, like when you hear
Devin just crossed himself for Christine McVie, I think.
Yeah, when you hear Everywhere, I don't know. I think my heart just feels happy.
Doom, 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 doom.
All right, so
Is it Todd?
It is Todd. It is the Todd.
Yeah, and
The
then
fact that he's there, I'm gonna take Freddie Mercury. Like, I'm not even.
He shouldn't have lasted this long. So I get.
You
where
got
you're coming from.
that's who I was fighting with.
I'm so glad my pick still exists.
That's pretty good. Robert Plant and Freddie Mercury. That's pretty solid.
That's a strong 2 rounds right there, my friend.
Strong second round draft.
That is a very strong couple of rounds. Go ahead, tell us why Freddie Mercury. Like we all need to hear it.
I think mine are pretty self-explanatory. Like,
yeah,
a 6-year-old could tell you why you picked Freddie Mercury. I mean, like every single song. They're probably their song is involved in one of the greatest single movie scenes of all time.
Absolutely, without question. The head banging in the gremlin. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Gonna puke. Puke into this.
You're gonna spew into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to not just go, yeah, okay, with Freddie, because his vocal range is nuts.
I'd love to have a story about how he makes me feel and stuff, but like it's just like those are just to me, it's like legends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want to know that story.
Into that. I wanted to try to explain that better in the group message when we were talking about this category. Like, there's going to be some that are just such an obvious, like, duh, no shit, you're picking Robert Plant and Freddie Mercury.
Right.
But, like, picking somebody like Tyler Joseph or Stevie Nicks, there's reasons that you go off the obvious ones a little bit more. Like, Stevie Nicks is pretty obvious. But Danielle had the reason, how it makes her feel. That's fucking rad. Cool. But yeah, I guarantee we're gonna get into these later rounds, and Todd's gonna say something about how somebody makes him feel. I promise that's gonna happen.
I can't wait for that.
All right, so Dev, final pick of the second round.
Man, I'm so glad that he lasted this long. I'm going John Fogerty.
Okay.
I had him as well.
Yeah. Yep. So I thanks
I
for picking everyone else. This one I don't think, again, needs much explaining. So
I could find the picture.
You can't make a war movie without Fortunate Son. Let's be real. And the scene in Waterboy when Bad Moon Rising comes up, or Born in a Bayou, like, come on.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Where's my picture, Caleb?
I had him. Give me a second.
Technical difficulties.
For real.
So,
it happens every show.
Apparently, John's picture died in Vietnam.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, this is
that the only movie you associate that song with?
What?
Every night, I live so close to the Parkview Hospital. Every single night, like when the helicopter's coming in hot, like all I think of is Fortunate Son. The whole house just starts shaking. This helicopter's going over.
It's great. It's great. I just think of Adam Sandler riding on his freaking lawnmower and Born on a Bayou starts to play. Like, that shit cracks me up every time. But
you know what I did? Here's what I did. That was one that I made before I threw in the background. So here.
There you go.
Sorry.
There he is.
One of my favorite memories is their song Lodi. I just have a distinct memory of my dad being a young lad and being like, I had no idea what the lyrics were. And just like I made them up. I didn't know what Lodi was. And I was like, man, let me check this song out. It's probably my favorite CCR song.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. Oh, look at the big man.
Hey, Jace.
Say hi.
Uh-huh.
Look, you see yourself?
What's up, buddy?
Who is that? Is that you? You say hi?
Look at them eyebrows.
Yeah, he's got some brows.
For real.
He's getting ready for bed. You ready to go night-night? No.
He's like, no, I want to play.
Go to bed.
Yeah, when I saw Fogerty on Devin's list, because Devin got me his list before Todd did, and I was like, man, if nobody else has Fogerty up there, I'm gonna be shocked. And then I saw it on Todd's, and I was like, all right, At least John Fogerty's more than likely going to get picked because that's a travesty if he doesn't.
Oh, I was so surprised. I was like,
I think
I know all the other people are
going to
I like Robert Plant. That's a throwaway. Stevie Nicks. Like, oh, I'm like Fogerty. I hope he makes it. No,
he's saying like those are the obvious ones. Yeah.
Like I knew like Mercury, everyone's list. He was on my list.
He wasn't on my list.
You're the only one that didn't have him.
It's because I knew he was. I was like,
and that's what I told Danielle. I was like, I think there's a couple that aren't on all 4 lists because you guys just know it's going to be on somebody. Now, I hope you all didn't mess up and leave somebody off, and then I really don't have a picture. That would suck.
Right.
But I'd be surprised because I did a lot of the
Drama and Todd had the upper hand because I have no idea who they are because I was like, I don't know what's going to be on their list.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where
I know I have a couple that are on Todd's list. I know I do.
Well,
all right,
and I know he's got a couple that are on mine.
The real quick,
Roll's already gone.
CCR joke.
Oh, Danielle's got a CCR joke.
The only thing that it makes me laugh is when Jack Black is like, I think it's Jack Black.
Oh, great.
Well, anyways, he says, I never want to hear somebody say they love Creed unless it follows Ent's Water Revival.
Yeah. I don't know what that's from, but I've heard that also. And it is true.
Like, I think it's Jack Black.
Nobody loves Creed, but everybody loves Creed. It's Clearwater.
And
don't.
I just think of the Cowboys game every time.
First pick of the third round, sorry.
Shaking my camera.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. Devin's up.
Is another one that I didn't think would make it this far, but Jim Morrison.
I almost put him on my list because he is a great lead.
Look at that sexy picture too. My
Dude,
God.
Yeah.
Looks like Val Kilmer,
That's
right?
not Val Kilmer?
That is not Val Kilmer. You can't mention Jim Morrison without mentioning Val Kilmer, though, honestly.
You can't. You can't. In the scene where they're all dropping acid in the desert.
Yeah.
I think in these early rounds, we really don't have to do a lot of explaining. The Doors were a juggernaut.
I'm not picking as many older ones as you guys.
So I know, and most of my list doesn't have a lot of older music because I was like, hey, I think I can bring some fresh faces in because I know I'm the youngest person here. But
by a lot.
I have to throw Jim Morrison on here. My parents, child of the 60s, and my house was Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, I think my mom has
Boston,
one of the
Blue Oyster Cult, The Doors,
original
Pink Floyd. Like, I grew up listening to these guys. I saw the movie when I was like 10, and I was like, "This is amazing."
That's too young to see that movie, I feel, but
these guys are rock stars, and they're fucking amazing.
You just mentioned a band that I had dilemma on because they had
Boston.
Who's the singer? No, it was Pink Floyd.
Oh,
is it Roger Waters?
Roger Waters
or David Gilmour?
The same thing.
Like that, I was like, you can't do that band because there really isn't. That's one of those bands.
I will tell you. I will tell you that I didn't put either one of them on here because I was going to object either way. So,
because
Caleb and I talked about this. One, I don't like Roger Waters. I think he might edge out a little bit more as the front man. I think he's an asshole.
They're both assholes.
So I didn't choose him.
Yeah, David Gilmour is not a great.
From the sounds of it, that entire band was just a bunch of dickheads. Like,
but
they were
Gilmour had some of
Sid, bro. Sid was awesome.
Gilmour had some of the better hits.
That was the thing. Like, he died, and then all of them were like,
he wigged out on acid
there. He died, and then everybody was like, "Oh wait, he's not here to keep us on track anymore. Let's just get fucked up and be mean to everybody." Now, they made amazing music. I'm not going to pretend like Pink Floyd has shockingly great, huge catalog of music, but
it's
pretty someone just posted on Reddit. They posted like the 50th anniversary for Dark Side of the Moon. And they're like, why the fuck is there a rainbow?
Yeah, people going nuts about there being a rainbow in there.
I was like, do you not know the fucking album cover?
I thought that was hilarious too.
One of the most iconic album covers of all time. Easily. Top 5.
Yeah. Just looking for reasons to be upset at people. Now, if there was a band that deserved to have people upset at them for no reason, it kind of is Pink Floyd. But that was a silly reason. All right.
Where were we? No, who's
Jim Morrison.
Todd?
That was Devin's
third round.
Third.
It's the third round.
That's his third pick. So
okay. So yeah, it's back to Toddy.
Todd.
taking Ozzy.
Ozzy?
I've got to take Ozzy. I personally love Ozzy. Black Sabbath. You want the story? Black Sabbath what got me into music.
I honestly thought that was going to be your first pick. I almost sent that to Caleb that Ozzy was going to be your first pick. That's a good picture.
Black Sabbath was one of the first, I was one of the first albums I ever got, and it was it was the Paranoid album, and then within weeks I owned pretty much the entire Ozzy catalog of Black Sabbath.
And that was when you were what, 31, 32?
Probably 13.
I'm kidding.
14,
obviously.
And I just fell in love with them. I absolutely love Black Sabbath. So
I respect that pick because even solo Ozzy is amazing.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath is better,
here's the thing, though.
Solo is pretty solid.
That was one that Todd reached out to me about that pick with the specific question,
do you get just Sabbath? Do you get
just
his
Sabbath?
Solo career?
But here's the thing: the reason that I'm okay with including like Ozzy, the Ozman Cometh and all that stuff, is because that was the same band. He had the same band with him for a while. The majority of that, you know what I mean?
Like pretty much just a different guitar player. Yeah,
yeah. Like Randy Rhoads died. Randy Rhoads died, and he replaced him with Zakk Wylde, and then it was like the rest of the band was pretty much the same. So it's not like a situation where, like earlier we were talking about Beck. Like Beck is a solo artist in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, he may have had like the same touring band back there with him, but if you could name one of them, I'll give you $1,000 right now. You know what I mean? Like you can't name another. You can't name somebody.
Bender from Futurama,
right?
$1,000.
No, Beck is a solo artist.
Bender was in his band though. He was a washboard.
He was a washboard.
That doesn't count. Fictional cartoons. I think we got to leave out.
Band.
Oh, we will eventually. Believe me, there will be a draft of fictional music. Something for sure. But yeah, I like the Ozzy pick. When you asked about it earlier, Todd, I really wanted to just be a dick and be like, nope, you only get Sabbath. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, nah, you got to include.
I still would have probably took him. I absolutely love Black Sabbath.
Even if you just get Sabbath, you get some of the best hits of the 70s.
Oh, dude. So yeah.
It sparked
Black Sabbath
Paranoid, Iron Man, Psycho Man.
They sparked an entire genre of music. Metal music because
you wouldn't have Rock Band or Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah.
You had rock bands. Technically the first rock band was Rolling Stones.
Let's hear it.
But the first metal band was Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Sure.
Yeah, they birthed all of the big metal bands to come after. 1,000%.
And literally, like if you look at it like almost like a football coaching tree, like Ozzy has his like roots in literally physical roots in a lot of bands where he was involved with production or a member of his band went and was a part of another. Like it's all over the place. So, all right, drama.
No, it's Danielle. Ladies first.
It's me.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry.
I'm last. But I know what my pick is. I know she's not gonna take my pick, so I already said
that's what you think.
I'm not. I can guarantee none of mine are probably yours.
No, I don't think so.
Well, the one that I think Drama's picking next, if I just read his message right, you had at least mentioned.
Had mentioned.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
I guess we'll never know.
Well, we're about to because that's my
Chester
pick.
Bennington.
Oh, for Linkin Park.
One of the best bands I've ever seen live.
Hands down. Me and Devin got to go see him right before.
What in the world? Where's my Chester pick?
And
killed itself.
Like literally after he died, me and Devin both out of our mouth. Glad we got to see him live.
Wowie.
Yeah, this was top 3 on my Danielle list.
I hate Todd.
Went through a lot of shit with my parents, and I know it sounds so cliche to say, "Oh, music got me through something" or whatever, but Linkin Park really got me through it all.
What?
I don't have a pick. I had a pick saved and I didn't do it.
We saw them right after their second album.
I'm so sorry.
It was one of the best shows. We were 3 people from the stage. Chester and Mike were awesome. Like, it is one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life.
I saw them at Ozfest. I saw them at Ozfest.
Like, oh, they're gonna go. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish. It's your pick.
He saw them at Ozfest. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When we went, we were like, okay, so we know that their albums are so good. Like, we were really skeptical.
All right, first. Listen, like, I'm gonna stop you for a second. I thought I made a cool one, but there's Chester for you.
Nice.
Chester Bennington yelling at the top of his lungs. All right.
Yeah.
You can hear that picture.
There's no way that they're going to sound like their album.
No, they sound exactly like
it's not. They're not going to be. The hype is too whatever. And then me and Devin at the end of the concert, we were just like,
I saw Linkin Park.
Wow.
I saw Linkin Park in like 2001 with Cypress Hill and Edema.
So we saw him with
Edema had one song that anybody had ever heard.
To Mars.
That is a very, very new metal concert.
It was AFI.
Yeah. He's doing something right now.
and that was like, it's like we saw like 4 concerts because Linkin Park had an entire EDM like part, a rap section when Shinoda went off, and then a full rock concert. And then
so that was my. I was gonna say that's my one thing that I was gonna say when somebody picked Chester. I was gonna be like, you gotta mention Mike Shinoda. Like Chester Bennington was clearly the lead singer, but that band is not the band that they were without Mike Shinoda.
I saw them early in their career, and they were not impressive when I saw them.
Next week,
I saw them at Ozfest.
2001's fairly early, and they were headlining. I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't but I think what happened was it was Ozfest and Papa Roach was on and they like did one of the dumbest things you could do on stage. Like, they're in front of a bunch of metal fans at Ozfest.
Performed?
And the guy goes, "We're not a metal band, we're a punk band." And everybody booed him. So everybody was in this like booey mood. And then Linkin Park played right after that. And it was like, it just never got to that point. Like,
so what you're saying is really what's homeboy's name from Papa Roach?
Kobe Dick.
Kobe Dick, Jacoby Shaddix, yeah. So he literally like he just Fred Dursted the crowd. He was like, I'm gonna fuck up the whole
alienated
rest of this show.
Everything, and
if
everything.
Anybody was here to have
stuff,
a good time. I'm sorry, but that is not happening now.
Yeah.
When we saw Linkin Park, it was literally they did a 3-hour set, and then Limp Bizkit came on. And did 2 hours, and then we saw 3 hours of Metallica. It was awesome. Best concert I've ever been to in my life.
Linkin Park technically opened for 30 Seconds to Mars, and I felt bad. Like Linkin Park was so sick, and then Jared Leto walked out.
Oh, don't do Jared Leto like that.
I like Jared.
No, I love Jared.
I like 30 Seconds to Mars too.
Was the main event?
Right. I don't know. 30 Seconds to Mars was.
No, it was AFI, 30 Seconds to Mars, Linkin Park.
Okay, here's what I didn't want. I didn't want Danielle and Devin having an argument about a show they went to 9 years ago.
Right. You were hella drunk. You don't remember.
It was longer than that.
Danielle's like, Devin, you were 17 and hammered ass drunk.
Right.
No, because we got to meet Jared Leto.
Busted.
And it was in the middle of that.
All right. So
I know this pick is on Todd's list.
I know that Danielle mentioned this, and I thought at first that Danielle was maybe being a little bit pandery by picking it.
I've seen every act. No, I've seen every act
kind of
that I want to have seen them live. This dude is when I think of frontman and energy that he can produce and get a crowd going, Zach De La Rocha. Insane. He is so look at that. Give him the middle finger. Like I'm telling you, that whole hit, that attitude. Like I saw them, System of the Down, and Tool all in the same day, and nuts. And these guys had the craziest energy. Like it's in the way like the guitar player, the way he
Tom
plays
Morello.
guitar.
Tom Morello.
How do you struggle
and-
with that name?
First
of all,
I wanted to say Modelo, like the freaking beer.
it's Modelo time, dog.
Right,
You wanted to say what now?
Modelo, but
Drinking. Sorry,
I've
my
never
Modelo
seen-
getting drank out of a Parched Brothers glassware. By the way, gotta mention
He's
them.
drinking a Tom Morello.
All right, shameless plug over. All right,
I don't know. It's the energy thing, like
Bulls
the
on
way he would
parade,
get
baby.
it every single song, and
So-
dude was sweating by the
I
third bar of the first song. Just everything about it was just nuts. And then
when I think of like a whole like 10-year stretch of my life was absolutely dominated by Rage Against the Machine. Not just like musically. I mean, literally, like I remember being like 11, 12 years old doing dishes at my house. My mom made me do dishes, and I'm doing dishes with like my shirt off and my headphones on, just fucking rocking out to Rage Against the Machine, like pissed off at the world. And I'm like 12. You know what I mean? Like that's
I'm
literally...
just so pissed they canceled their 2023 North American tour.
Yeah, same.
Because as a 27-year-old, that was like, I don't know if they'll ever tour again. This is my time to see them. I was fucking pumped. And then that happened.
That's why I don't include, when I was talking about Tool being number one, I won't put Rage number one on that list. I haven't seen Rage live. I've had tickets to see Rage live. I had tickets to the Rhyme and Reason tour when they toured with Beastie Boys, like, what, 15 years ago? Danielle was planning on getting me tickets to see RTJ and Rage in Detroit, which Run the Jewels is about at the top of my list, obviously. So, like, Rage was a huge part of my life. So I knew somebody was going to pick him. I would have
put him down.
If nobody would have picked Zach De La Rocha, I would have probably yelled at all of you after the last round of the draft. I would have been like, "You scumbag mother!" Like I would have been mad. I would have been actively angry. But Danielle mentioned it. Devin mentioned it. John had it on his list.
They weren't on my list because I feel jaded by that cancellation. I was so pumped.
All right.
Pissed.
All right. So Drama, you got the next pick too.
And I didn't want it to sound like it was.
And it did sound pandery. Oh, yeah. It was Danielle being a little pandery. She was like, "Ooh, who does Caleb love? I'm gonna pick him."
This is one actually I haven't seen. I said I've seen every act that I was going to mention, but I've never seen these guys live, and there's a reason for it. It's because he is a douchebag and kind of blew up after. No, it's Axl Rose.
Oh, literally blew up.
His vocal range is
crazy,
absurd.
It's stupid. It's
stupid.
It's stupid. Like the dude is vocally.
Have you heard him lately?
I don't know. No, I haven't. I don't want to tarnish it because like
gibberish.
Appetite for Destruction. It's a pretty solid album. And then November Rain, like there's so many bangers from the 80s and 90s.
Oh, dude,
like
he's unimpeachable as a front man. I mean, there's no way to argue against that.
90s.
And then him and Slash together, like Slash was just so good as a guitar player. Like they're both
no shout out for Duff
McKagan. He always had the coolest parts in their videos. He was just like drunk.
He always just looked all messed up,
just hammered, like talking to some girl, like, whoa,
I'm just drinking my beer and playing guitar. I don't know why you guys keep putting the camera on me.
Right.
Like Slash is hamming it up and Axl's being Axl, and then you see Duff back there just like, when did these cameras even get here?
He was one of the ones I figured was on a lot of lists. Would be Axl Rose. I thought he would be on a lot of lists.
He wasn't, but he was one that I already had. He was one of the ones that I found a picture of before anybody gave me their list.
I knew he was going to be on some list.
But I didn't want to.
Absolute icon. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah. I think it's tarnished a little bit now, but that was one of the ones where I was like, I'm not going to put it on because it's.
Dude, think about the video, the Patience video where he's. Dude, come on.
Yeah, dude.
Axl's amazing. All right, who's up? Who do we got? We got
Danielle.
No, back to Danielle. Yeah.
Yeah, Danielle goes after me.
Wait.
Yeah,
because it's it's back to the
back to Danielle.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Shoot, I don't know what to pick.
Oh my God, you had a whole list in front of you.
I know, and it's so hard because you guys are
Don't pick mine.
all these people from
That's
like the
what she
80s,
said.
90s, and the 70s and
I
stuff.
can't. You know who you're gonna pick. Do it.
Okay, I'm going Jack White.
Dude,
Speaking of pandery picks.
No,
Oh,
not
I
a
got to
pandering
see them
pick.
2 summers ago with my boy Devin. 2 summers ago?
No, like 4 summers ago.
Long time ago.
4 summers ago. And it's just undeniable, like how talented he is. And he's from Michigan, so we got to rep the Michigan. You know, it's hard to not want to pick someone who's so musically talented and can literally almost do it all.
Almost. He can. He can do
No,
it.
he can't.
I had him on my
I don't
list.
see him breaking
I had
out
him-
and dancing.
my
on
I
it.
had him on my
pick.
I had him on my list too. He was gonna be
Yeah,
Oh,
Devin
my
Devin
next
was the
way
only
around.
Devin was the only person that didn't mention Jack White on their list, and
Because
I
I
was
knew-
surprised that he didn't.
Nah, I knew my sister would have him, but I also was like, okay, is he White Stripes? Do you consider Jack White his own band?
Wrecking
Now that he's
Tours,
doing
Well,
by
dude,
himself,
If he would have died and never made anything after the White Stripes, he still deserves to be on the list.
still
Yeah.
amazing.
I saw
Yeah.
the White Stripes 17 times. It's the band that I've seen the most. They're
Ju-
they were unbelievable. Jack
So
White's the
sick.
best showman I've ever watched live. He's outrageous.
That concert was
He fell off the stage.
amazing.
The first time I ever saw them was at the Union Ballroom in East Lansing at Michigan State. Room for about 700 people in there.
Not
it was
there
like
anymore.
it was like 1999. I mean, I think I was a sophomore in high school when I saw him. And it was like right after Fell in Love with a Girl came out, maybe 2000. And he fell off the stage, didn't stop playing, climbed back onto the stage and walked over to the microphone and apologized for falling off the stage. All
like
without
Dave Grohl.
stopping playing. It was amazing.
So
they did my
The
second
coolest
thing
favorite
was-
cover of all time.
Second
coolest
favorite
thing, too,
cover,
was-
Jolene.
Jolene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jolene is so good. I love that he sings it still from the female perspective. That's my favorite thing about their cover. You know what I mean? He's still begging of you,
Yeah.
please
When-
don't take my man. He doesn't try to like.
Right.
when they were closing out and they were playing Seven Nation Army, the dude didn't tune his guitar quick enough. So he just grabbed a random guitar, tuned it, and then like walked out of the front of the stage. Was like, Dum. And everyone was
Yeah.
like, fucking, that was like sick. But he was sitting there like 10 seconds, just tune
Yeah.
the fucking guitar like that.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
and then
I-
played the song that all the fucking 19-year-olds were there, for all the frat boys. And I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. But it was amazing.
No, it was amazing.
Because it was just like, oh my god.
I had
that
to
first,
explain to my uncle. My uncle thought for sure he was playing that was played on a bass, and I was like, no, that's just a tuned down 6-string. Like he just does it, and he's like,
He
no,
just does
that's
it.
a bass, and I had to show him a video. Like, no, it's not. All right, who's up? Todd.
Todd. It's gonna be Todd's first substance pick.
Todd's first substance pick. This
He's
is
been
Todd's
chalk.
first one where
He's been chalk the
Chalk.
whole.
he has been
been
extremely.
You guys,
chalky
you
so
guys
far.
really ruined me though. Like John and her just ruined like 3 people that I had. Like, all right, I'm gonna pick
Well,
one of those
good.
3. They're
Good.
just gone.
Uh,
Grohl's
There's still a couple pretty chalky picks available.
Honestly, I'll probably take. I know this is probably not on everybody's board, but I really like the dude's voice, and I think their catalog's fairly solid. I like Brandon Flowers from the Killers.
It's a great pick.
I
yeah,
like
he's on
their
my list.
music. It's not like there's nothing that stands out like, but
Almost
like
was.
the Samstown is one of the best albums like from my
He
my
kind of looks
childhood,
like
I
you,
guess.
Todd.
But
Can you
I like
can you
it.
strike that pose real quick? That's not good. Okay, never mind.
No.
He doesn't look like you at all.
Chin out. Chin out.
Dude, the Killers are amazing. There's no way
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah,
That's
That was a great
that
pick.
We haven't seen, Dev.
I've seen him.
yeah, he's
they're all right.
I knew
Yeah,
John was like, I don't care.
John's pretty
John's
he's
over
pretty
here
blasé
singing
over here.
Hawthorne
He's like,
Heights, but he doesn't
like,
like the Killers.
Hey, I love me some Hawthorne
I
Heights.
fought with myself on him because I knew
I like
maybe
the
it was
Killers.
Devin.
I can never really remember like I think all I've ever heard from the Killers is their radio stuff. Like I never
That's not true.
like went deep. Well, I've never personally went deep into
their
their
albums
catalog.
are good, man. They've got some solid albums.
I will tell you right now,
even
Drama,
their stuff that's radio stuff is good stuff.
The time that you spent living on my couch,
yeah,
you heard a lot of Killers in that time. I'm sure. I'm
just saying I don't know a lot of the deep tracks myself. I know like the chalk stuff from them and the stock stuff, which I think is good stuff. Like I just never, I don't know, I never really got into them. Heavy. I mean, I like them. Good pick, Todd.
How many rounds are
we
doing?
Pick, Todd. Definitely a good pick. I think we're doing like 6.
Let's do 20.
Oh yeah.
6
I just didn't know because there is one guy I'm going to draft that I know nobody else. I don't think anybody else is picking. I would almost guarantee it.
No, Danielle, I'm not picking those. That's
all right. So who's up then?
Pointers there. I think I am.
Devin. It's Devin.
I'm going with
Todd picked Brandon Flowers.
Oh yeah. I'm writing them down.
Great pick, Todd.
I was glad somebody was.
Yeah, I was gonna pick him second out of this little snake thing because I'm back to back here. I'm going with the only artist I've met a family member of, and that's Anthony Kiedis. I met his mom, and she is an absolute angel. So she's like 80, and I was working at the Apple Store, and she had a Red Hot Chili Peppers logo on her phone, and I was like, "Oh, good taste." She's like, "Yeah, well, I'm kind of biased. My son's in the band," and I was like, "This woman's crazy." And then I unlock her phone, and it's a Christmas picture of her, Anthony Flea, like the whole fucking 9 yards.
Is it this picture right here?
Yeah, no. It was.
Well, she does live in Grand Rapids, right?
It was Mustache Anthony. So, seeing these guys live, they're awesome. They're fucking wild for the age that they're in. Like Flea walked out on his hands, holding his bass in his. Yeah, holding his bass in his feet, like, is wild. You have to mention them. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Come on.
Is that the criteria for having to mention them?
No.
I have a small.
No, but I was mad that Green Day got indicted before they did. I love Green Day too, but I'm like, how are they going to get indicted before Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Green Day's dead to me. If any of you would have put Billy Joe Armstrong on here.
Yeah, that guy.
For my next pick is Billy Joel.
VH1,
right.
All that stuff.
My next pick, Green Day.
Ooh, this is weird.
Who's up next?
It's Devin again. He's got 2.
Oh, that's right.
My next pick is Alex Turner, Arctic Monkeys.
Dude, I like the Arctic Monkeys.
It's a good band.
So I struggled with this one. But then I listened to their new album and I was like, fuck, they still got it. And as much as you like, he sounds exactly the same. Like they walked out and I had my eyes closed and I was like, I'm listening to a studio album right now. These guys are awesome. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Fucking modern day rock star.
He's weird as whatever, but that concert was amazing.
So sick. It was, they had all the lights, so it looked like it was in black and white.
Yeah.
They're good. They're very good. And
that's one I almost put on my list too.
He's like 1 or 2 weird scandals away from being like the prototypical rock frontman. You know what I mean? Like he's like a 70s frontman transported.
Oh, 1,000%.
Todd had a similar, an artist that I would say is similar on his list that I don't know if he's gonna draft him or not, but I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Todd. Yeah.
I think we're on the same page. If it's the same person I'm thinking of.
I think I messed up writing down whose drummer's picked already.
It's all good. We'll figure it out. So
Maynard,
that was Devin's second pick. So that's back to
Devin has 5.
Yeah, that was the 5th round.
Yeah, Tyler, Jim, Alex.
Drama had
Anthony,
Maynard,
Robert Smith.
I'm doing my 5th pick right now.
Maynard, Robert Smith,
I've
Axl
got Robert
Rose.
Zach
Plant,
De La Roca.
Eddie
Oh,
Murphy,
Zach
and
De La
Brandon
Roca.
Flowers.
Yeah, that was my fifth.
Yeah, that's everybody should have 4, and then
Devin
has 5. Yeah. All right, so Toddy boy, let's hear
I
it.
think you know what I'm gonna go. I know that he's not gonna get picked, but I'm gonna go ahead and take him because you mentioned it. It's Isaac Brock from the Modest Mouse. I love Modest Mouse. I don't know what it is. I don't care what anybody has to say about it.
You don't
I
have
love
to
that
defend
band.
Isaac Brock to me.
That
Modest
band
Mouse is
to
pretty
me
good.
is.
R.I.P.
I absolutely have to listen to everything that they release.
Who did you just
I love
RIP?
that
Isaac
band.
Brock's alive.
No.
They're one of their founding members just died.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I know
I
Isaac's
remember
alive. Sorry.
I was like, mother, what happened? I had a moment there. I'm
I
sorry.
absolutely their catalog, like even the stuff that's like commercially wasn't good once they became like a commercially successful band. I still love it. Like my
Jeremiah
kids like their
Green was the
music.
one that
My
died,
kids will
the
sit in the
drummer.
car and sing their songs. Like I love that band.
So we
Great
do a
choice.
thing. We do a thing in when we're on like road trips or really even short trips a lot of times where we'll go to like Apple Music's 90s alternative hits
For each year.
and like go through like 1994, 1995, like each year, not each decade, but each year. And Third Planet was on one of those lists the other day, and I was like, "Oh my god, this song's so great!" And Danielle was like, "I know it's Modest Mouse, but I've never heard this song." And I was just like,
What? Oh, that's a great
like
song.
she's well, and that's the thing. Like she's in that group of people that probably only knows
Float
the
On.
ones, Float
They know-
On, and
they know
like
the
Ocean
commercial
Breeze,
stuff.
Salty, and stuff like that. Dashboard, like those are great
I also
songs.
went through like the biggest boy band phase of my life when everyone else was like punk rock.
I mean,
Modest Mouse, not exactly punk rock.
No,
but I see
Not
what she's. I see
exactly.
what she's getting at.
I see
here,
where you're
but
going
yeah.
with it. But
I know.
but at the same time,
And-
that's the beauty of it. Like, I love introducing people to music. Like, I'm like, what? You
And
don't know who
my
Modest Mouse
parents
is?
were
Oh,
really,
get
like-
fucking ready.
Yeah.
Really kind of sheltery.
We Modest Mouse was at Lollapalooza when we went, and Isaac Brock has definitely not aged well. Like not just physically, like he looks horrendous now, but also he couldn't really. It's not the same guy. I saw Modest Mouse in 2005 or something like that, and they were amazing. It sounded just like the album. You know what I mean? They're one of those types of bands. And then when we saw them in 2021, it was like, oh, that's a disappointment.
Did we go to Modest Mouse?
Yeah. They were right before Young the Giant.
They're coming
Do you
around.
not remember? Were you feeling
too good?
a little too good at that moment and didn't quite remember Modest Mouse?
It might have been that.
Danielle had some partying to do, so it's all good. All right. Who we got up next? We got
Me?
I'm shocked that you haven't picked. I think I know who this is going to be. If it's not, I'll be really, really surprised.
I really want to pick another female because none of you have picked female.
Oh my goodness! Listen, don't pick a female
There's
just
like
for the sake of
6
picking
in
a
the
female.
entire catalog.
You already, you picked Stevie Nicks. She deserves to be on the list. Like
Stevie Nicks was the one female on my list.
Yeah.
I would have had Whitney Houston, but she didn't have a band. Whitney
Yeah, she
Houston.
never-
Same. Yeah.
yeah, if we ever do a draft of amazing
Who are you
singers, it's going to
thinking
be
about,
filled
Danielle?
with
Haley Williams?
Yeah.
That's who she was thinking about. I bet, but I don't think
No, it was the other one.
the other
Oh.
one, Debbie Harry.
Yeah.
Don't do that either. Pick
Janis Joplin.
I'm.
Debbie
I
Harry?
hate Janis Joplin.
Blondie?
I'm so shocked that you're not picking.
Cyndi Lauper.
Okay, I'm doing it. It's gonna be Brendan Urie.
Bingo.
Yeah, I fucking
I
knew
couldn't.
this.
I thought this was going to be your like second pick.
That's a
I don't know
woman?
what she's
I was
done.
waiting to see where
That's
everybody
a woman?
was.
Todd said that's a woman. Not a woman.
Yo,
What a
also,
love.
also,
I
so sad for anyone who hasn't
Love
seen him
him.
live. Retired.
and I'm so sad that he decided he wants to give up music
He'll be back.
because his stupid wife had to get pregnant.
He'll be back.
Maybe
I guarantee you,
Yo,
we have not
if
seen the
Tyler
last
Jo-
of
this
him.
man-
Tyler
this
Joseph
man's
can
voice.
tour with 2 kids.
Yeah, right.
So
This man's
Are you
voice is
legitimately-
out of this world.
Who is
She's
this?
like, fuck him for having a life.
Brendan
This is the lead
Brendan
singer
Urie's the
of
lead
Panic at the Disco.
lead singer from Panic at the Disco. And that's what I was going to say, Drama. Like, this is one that is another one that you
really
definitely
need to
heard a
listen to their
lot of
first
Panic at the
4 or 5
Disco
albums.
back
Yeah.
at the apartment at Avalon, but I
Right.
don't think
Man,
you were ever
one
super
of-
into them.
One
No.
of the greatest
You were
vocalists.
more into
and-
like of that stuff. Like you would kind of get turned up when we were listening to like Scary Kids Scaring Kids or like
yeah.
Brendan Urie
Cobra
has
Starship,
the
but
greatest
not really.
cover of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
It's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's that
The
kind
dude
of
can sing his
vocalist,
ass off. He's an
Yeah.
amazing showman too. I saw Panic at the Disco.
Is it better
can
than
do,
the
like,
Fish
Mariah
cover
Carey falsetto.
of Leonard Skinner's Freebird? Because I doubt it.
I don't know what you're talking about right now, Todd.
The
I've
greatest
never heard
cover
that,
of all
and I hope
time
it's
was done
fake.
by a band named Devo, and it's "Satisfaction" by the Rolling Stones.
I would say
Fish
by the
Dynamite,
'80s band Devo. Check it out. It's crazy.
Dynamite
hate
Hack's
Fish.
cover of Boys in the Hood is pretty strong.
Yeah,
also.
that one's pretty good.
I hate Fish, but they
Anyway,
have a
Brendan
like
Urie is
8-minute
also-
video. They have an 8-minute
also
live
an-
song where they only do Freebird with their voices, and when it gets to the solo, it's
Okay.
pretty hilarious.
I like that.
So-
All right, let's.
It's
Little known
Did-
cover,
He
a
also
band called
is-
Camp. Dude does Dreams
he's
by
an
Fleetwood Mac.
amazing
It's amazing.
lyricist.
Yes, Danielle's not wrong here.
He
Like
can write
Brendan,
he
Brendan
can
Urie deserves to be on in this draft
He
for
can
sure.
write a song
Danielle-
like no other, but the other thing that he does that's really funny is that their album, the names of their songs are never the
Yeah, they
in the
make
song.
no sense.
Like, you know, when you hear
Yeah, I lost
certain
you.
songs, they say the title of the song a million times. Brendan Urie doesn't do that. He makes up like ridiculous songs for like titles for their songs.
All right,
Yeah, like this is the most.
Speaking of ridiculous titles to songs,
Yeah.
my next guy.
are you up, Drama?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
All right.
So this one, once again, I have to go with like genres, right? So Metallica, I would call band no,
Nope, he's not doing it.
going that
Don't
way.
worry.
So bands
Okay.
like Metallica and I don't know, like Black Sabbath, I would call all of that diet metal, because real metal
Here it comes.
was coined by Slayer and Tom Araya. Like this dude on stage with his bass and the speed of which they all play, and for him to be able to play and sing at the same time, and you can argue whether what he's doing is called singing or not. I don't mind that, but as a front man standing in front of a band and playing his bass and getting everybody hyped, Slayer, there's nobody better in metal, at least, like as far as it goes with the metal, because there was a lot of metal bands I was gonna choose from, and I was like, man, because there's so many good metal vocalists out there. Like Todd mentioned, As I Lay Down, or you mentioned who'd you mention earlier, Lamb of God, which I think his voice is by far better than Tom's,
But it's not
like as far as metal. But like when you
the
think
charisma
metal,
and the
yeah,
Slayer
when
has
you're
one of the
upfront,
greatest single lines in the history of music.
it's insanity. I love it. And are you gonna?
Let's hear it, Todd.
You know what it
What
is?
it?
You
I
can
know
say
what it
it.
is.
It's your pick.
I
You
know
can
what it
say
is. I keep a Bible in the pool of blood so none of its lies can affect me. It's from New Faith, and it's insanity.
And the way
just
he
to
yells
throw
it-
that in the middle of it. Yeah, the way he yells it out in the middle of the fucking song, like it's fucking crazy. Like
It like comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just like you're like, ooh.
What did he say? Like
right. You got to do that.
What was that? Like,
It's almost
I
like
used
it's like Will Ferrell in Old School when
right.
they're dancing and he's like,
Dude, I used to play that song whenever people would play Hoobastank when I was the bartender at Peanuts. Whenever somebody would play a Hoobastank song, I would immediately run up to the jukebox and I would put in New Faith, play Slayer just to counterbalance the Hoobastank. Like it was
Huba
so
stunk,
bad.
bro.
Huba
Yeah, Huba.
stank. Yeah.
Uba did sing.
Uba had one good song, and
I didn't have two
And the
lined
reason
up.
is it's only okay.
and it's not the reason.
This
All
is
right,
going to
so-
be my first chalk pick, I think. Just because I don't think I never saw this guy live, and I really wanted to, and then he passed. But when I think of songs, from my childhood all the way up into like 2005, really, Tom Petty was like, he's got that sound, real, I don't know how to explain it. Like it, when I first heard Tom Petty, I remember it was MTV had just come out and they were playing the video for Don't Come Around Here No More. And I was legit like
Alice in Wonderland one.
Yeah. I was freaked out. Like I couldn't sleep for like 2 days because I was like, they ate the lady. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, these dudes are crazy. And then my uncle turned me on to the old Tom Petty, like the original stuff that came out into the 70s. I was like, man, this stuff is so good. Like all of their lyrics, just great. And Tom, the fact that he was Lucky from King of the Hill, like just dude's a beast, bro. He's one of my favorite people. I love Tom Petty.
Dude, Tom Petty, I mean, the reach, you could find people from like all walks of life, all, generations. You can find a Tom Petty fan in any group of people. I mean, the dude was just,
I'm pretty sure you could go to Madagascar and someone would know Last Dance.
Yeah.
He was a great songwriter.
The line from Wayne's World when he's like, Led Zeppelin didn't write songs that everybody loved. They left that to the Beatles. Right. Like they left that shit to Tom Petty. Tom Petty wrote songs that everybody loves. Like there's hardly a song that you can play from Tom Petty that you're gonna hear somebody like, nah, I'm not really into this one. They either don't like Tom Petty at all or they love every song by him.
Right. When I first started learning how to play guitar, me and this dude used to play out in between this bar, and we just play for the drunk people walking by. And one of the songs I said I would never play again was Last Dance with Mary Jane. That Sublime, What I Got, and
oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember you shit talking Sublime, like just because of that.
If you really want to get John going, just put in some Mighty Mighty Boss Tones or some
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. I hate Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
John has a personal vendetta with ska music.
I hate ska music so much. The only ska music song I like is the one from what's the video game? The skateboarding.
We're talking about Superman.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that song. The rest of the ska can just go.
Goldfinger.
Yeah, Goldfinger.
That's a pull right there. That is a very, very specific niche target for that reference.
Oh, they're so terrible.
Like people who played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 on the Nintendo 64 or big ska fans. That's who's gonna know that song.
Except from the demo from Pizza Hut. That's how I used to play that. The Tony Hawk from the demo. You remember that? You get the demo from Pizza Hut?
You know how many times I played that?
You only got two characters, Kareem and Tony. That was it.
Like that, you know how many times
warehouse. Very specific. That is a very nostalgic reference right there.
The first level of Spyro and the first level of Metal Gear Solid. I played.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
By
the time I got Metal Gear, I was so good at that first level.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like I could just blaze through that first level. Oh, that's funny. All right,
we're still talking about. Oh, can't do it. Ska music. Yeah.
All right. So now we're done talking about Goldfinger. Drama's pick's done. So now we're going back down the line for the last.
Danielle.
It's Danielle. We were doing 7.
Oh, so the second to last. All right. Sorry.
Everybody has 5 right now.
So 7 picks total.
Well, I had 6.
Oh wait.
I just gave my 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was your one before?
Tom Araya.
Tom Araya from Slayer.
Okay.
Slayer.
All right. Yeah. So are we going backwards or are we going
Yes,
forwards?
it's back to you. You got 2 picks. Make them count.
Okay. I go 2 in a row?
No. I'm saying you have 2 picks left.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
This is Danielle's first experience with a snake draft.
Sorry.
Points.
I'm going to go.
Yes, points.
Yes.
Kanye. I'm just going to turn into the Blake soundboard from this report.
Right.
Well, why don't you cry about it?
I think I'm going to go with. I want to pick people that I can say that I've seen live. and that I can, back up my like love or whatever.
Oh, you've got another girl on your list.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with Florence Welch. She's the lead singer to Florence and the Machine. And I've seen her twice in concert, and she is absolutely amazing. Her voice is unreal. And her lyrics and her music, it just makes sense.
Yeah, Florence Welch is badass. Like
her album, the Lungs album, is
one of the greatest. There's not a song.
Oh, it's very good.
It's so good.
She's one that
Cosmic Love.
Yeah.
She's
I love that song.
I love the Dog Days Are Over. Like the first song that I ever heard by them was that song. And I was like, oh, it's pretty rad. And then here's a name that you probably haven't thought of in a while, Drama. Mitch Grog.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Mitch? Yeah. So Mitch was super into Florence and the Machine, like really into him. And at first I was like, all right, dude, I get it. Like you're trying to, I don't know what image you're going for here, but I understand. And then I actually listened to it and I was like, oh no, this is actually like, she's rad. And she's like aggressive sounding when she sings, which is also cool. Like she has like a growl to her sometimes when she gets going that I love. Yeah.
I think it's hard for some musicians to make music because they feel like they have to please the masses, and she can do that, but she also does it for her.
Yeah, she's good as hell.
Yeah,
those are good albums.
Ooh. All right. So we're at Toddy now?
Todd.
Go with Chris Cornell.
I thought that's who you were going to go with last time, and then you took a left turn on us.
Yeah, I Chris Cornell. I mean, you got two to me, Soundgarden and Audioslave, and I'd take a pick. I mean, I think they both have great music. The voice, I mean, his voice just stands out. Wasn't he in Temple of the Dog too?
Yeah, but Temple of the Dog's a weird one. I mean, it's hard to say that he was the lead singer because Eddie Vedder was there too.
Eddie Vedder only did backup in the one song.
But they only had like an album that had 5 songs on it. It was like a tribute album,
7
basically.
songs, right? Yeah.
He died in Detroit.
That voice to me is just so unique. It's. Yeah. I mean, you could take your pick. You could take Kurt Cobain. You could take Lane Staley.
Hey, calm down, bro. There's still rounds to pick here.
But I mean, those voices are like iconic. When John's talking about genres, I'm like, when you think of grunge, there's only a handful of voices you can think of. And
I think Chris Cornell has the best. He's the best screamer of all time.
Hey, did you not remember my pick, Chester Bennington?
Yeah, I did. I absolutely remember Chester Bennington, and I will still say that Chris Cornell had the best.
Not listening to enough metal, I take it, guys.
Oh, dude. Well, no. That's a different thing. I'm talking about singers that can scream, not just garbled screaming.
All right.
I'm not really into the metal.
All right.
Each its own.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Right. Cornell was
right?
For sure.
Agree to
He's
disagree.
Definitely a good screamer.
Chris Cornell's
a good screamer. He's a good screamer.
He's strong.
Who's that? Right, Devin?
We're back to Devin for 2 picks.
Yeah.
The last pick of the 6th round and the first pick of the final round.
I can't wait to be introduced to somebody new.
Yeah, so this one's going to be new to you.
It will.
Every pick you've had is new to me, except for Fogarty. Except for Fogarty.
And Jim Morrison.
Anthony Kiedis is new to you?
Oh, you had Jim Morrison. Yeah, okay.
And Jim Morrison. Like, come on.
And Anthony Kiedis. Come on.
This one's 100% going to be new. I hope Caleb has a pick. This is Dave Bailey.
Hey. I had it loaded up. I knew where you were headed.
Yeah, Glass. This is Glass Animals.
I had to use a Getty image. I'm sorry.
I love it.
I'm not giving him any money
because he is the definition of a frontman. He writes, produces, and does everything, and then just has his friends tour with him. That can.
What's the name of the band?
Glass Animals.
Glass Animals.
It is kind of like an acid alternative trippy.
I think if you listen to the radio right now, you can't skip through a station without hearing Heat Waves.
Yeah, Drama. I think you've probably heard their one that's on the radio right now.
Yeah, and that's not even their best song by any means.
It's not. It's not even the best. It's not even the best song on that album.
Not even the best song on that album. He has one of the lyrics is just
you two texting back and forth.
Big old titties on the side, like. Great
I was trying to make him laugh.
Heat Waves. Okay, I think I have heard this. I put it in my Spotify, so I'll check it out.
Listen to that one and then listen to.
I will. I'll listen to the top 5.
Apple Music?
No, he uses Spotify for.
Spotify all day, every day. Baby.
He's on that family plan.
I'm on his family plan.
Same. We're on the Apple Music family.
You'll have to listen to the song "Space Ghost Coast to Coast."
All right.
They're a good band.
Yeah, they have lyrically, it's amazing. But I think the thing that's amazing is that he writes all the music, produces and plays all the music, and then he had all of his best friends. He's like, "Hey, I need some people to tour with. Just tour with me." And so they just tour with him, and he's like,
there's another band that's similar to them. I'm surprised Devin didn't pick that person.
He's still got another pick.
One more pick.
Oh, and then I don't want to.
Are they kind of like My Morning Jacket? Is it kind of like that?
No, it's like a.
No,
it's literally
Drama. You're thinking of Animal Collective.
Okay, that's yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So this one, I know it's my last pick, and I am really struggling here, because there's so many people on my list that I want to pick, but I think I'm gonna go kind of maybe off kilter. I might surprise Caleb a little bit here, and I'm gonna go with Marcus Mumford, Mumford and Sons.
Did not surprise.
Yeah, so I mean, he's number 15 on my list, but that was in no particular order. Mumford and Sons they redefined a genre for the 20th century. Like, kids got into bluegrass and folk music because of this band, and which then sparked so many other bands. And I fucking love this guy, and he's now doing a kind of a solo thing for a little bit. But Mumford and Sons is amazing, and you wouldn't have it without Marcus Mumford. So
what's he doing? He's doing a soundtrack for
probably
work right now.
He's probably doing the soundtrack for a Coen Brothers movie.
No, it's a TV show. What have you been watching?
So he's coming.
The Last of Us
here. He's coming to Denver here, and I'm like, man, do I want to go see him? But his album's really good.
I saw Mumford and Sons, Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, and the Avett Brothers in.
Fuck you, dude. That is
2000. This is like 2008, dude. This is forever ago.
But all 3 of those bands are heavy hitters.
Yeah.
But
on half of that tour, the one of the stops that I didn't go to, Old Crow Medicine Show was there too. I was like, okay, they just took everybody that had a fiddle in their band, and they were like, hey, you guys all want to tour together?
Yeah, these guys are amazing. I think every time you watch a video of them, you're like, how the fuck isn't their instrument broke yet? Because
that's what I was going to say. Marcus Mumford, he just plays a kick drum while he's playing guitar. He's just stomping on a fucking kick drum, and he looks like a homeless dude. He looks like a busker. You know what I mean? Like, he looks like he's just like playing out on some dock or something, and people are dropping money in his bucket because he doesn't have any buddies.
Exactly like where he's from.
Yeah, he does. He looks
Ted
like
Lasso.
That's legit. He does. He did the theme song for Ted Lasso, and he scores
Ted Lasso.
Great show.
That makes sense. But so
can't not mention
Bailey and Marcus Mumford.
All right, Devin rounding out his squad here. So that means back to Toddy.
Probably gonna go off kilter. I'm hoping you maybe pulled up. I didn't give you this guy on my list, but he could have been on. Based on what Devin's been picking, he might be on his list.
Great.
I'm gonna go with Win Butler.
No, I don't have a picture. Give me a moment. I'll have one in just a second.
I had a couple of obscure ones that I didn't think anybody would pick, And,
that is
and
a
one of
super
them
good
was Win
pick.
Butler.
And I didn't even think about it.
And
Arcade
Butler from
Fire.
Arcade Fire.
Yeah.
it was either between him or Damien Albarn. And I don't know if you can consider Damien Albarn. He's the lead singer of the Gorillaz, but people.
I love the Gorillaz.
Yeah. Their last
chunking.
2 or 3
chunking.
years where they've been making these albums with like just every random artist from every genre has been nuts.
Oh my God, amazing.
But
Win Butler, you explaining why you didn't pick Damon Albarn?
No, I was just saying those would have been my last two. I know nobody's picking Damien Albarn or Win Butler.
There's Win Butler, everybody. He looks just as weird as he sounds.
He's also giant. He's like 6'4".
I'm a big fan of Arcade Fire.
Yeah, he's a big dude. I remember seeing Arcade Fire on Saturday Night Live when they were like 2 years into being a big deal. And they looked like the most awkward collection of 12 people playing music at the same time that I've ever seen in my life. Like, they sounded good, don't get me wrong, but they were like, it just looked like they had no interest in being there. They all looked like they would rather be like facing away from the crowd. And then I saw them again like 4 or 5 years later in a live performance, and I was like, oh, they figured out how to not look like sketchy weirdos. This is going to be dangerous. And then they were like the biggest band in the world for like 5 years.
This is 40. You were the genius that didn't want to sign Arcade Fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Paul Rudd, legend. All right, Todd's running out of juice. See, that's why he's chunking over there. Who's up? Danielle, then Drama to close it out.
I honestly don't know.
There's one that you had on your list that you haven't said that's shocking to me.
Is it the one that's in multiple bands?
Sure.
I want to pick him, but
just pick him.
The lead singer of Atreyu. Killswitch Engage.
No.
Is it the person I held next to me and he handed me the microphone to sing and I was like, no.
Just pick Daniel.
Yes.
Let's Oh wait. I might be wrong. Just pick.
It's hard.
It's not that hard.
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
That's my choice.
Danielle, you have this motherfucker's lyrics tatted on you.
I know. I'm gonna pick Andrew McMahon.
Where'd he go?
Listen, he's been in so many bands and they're all successful. You gotta.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel dumb, but
what
band? Who is this dude?
So he was in the band a long time ago. It's called Something Corporate, and then he switched to a band named Jack's Mannequin.
You know him from Jack's Mannequin.
Jack's Mannequin.
Andrew McMahon.
And now he's in Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness.
Bingo! There he is.
Danielle.
I should have.
The guy looks like
from our concert.
He plays in a convenience store.
He probably
this man
has.
Is amazing.
He is amazing.
He beat cancer.
His lyrics really resonate in my soul.
I'm looking at his face, and all I can think of is Michael McDonald.
Yeah. No, he does not sound or play like Michael McDonald. He's honestly, Todd, like as much as Drama got into the almost crying about Robert Smith earlier.
The goth
like
phase.
I could get almost that emotional talking about Andrew McMahon.
Yeah.
Like the dude
fantastic.
Beat cancer. Yeah.
He
set up his own cancer foundation.
On top of being a great dude, the stuff that he did with Something Corporate.
Band.
The very different, like having a piano driven punk band is weird and amazing. And then all the stuff that he wrote that he wasn't sure if it was going to like fit the vibe of Something Corporate, he kind of held on to, similar to like what Dave Grohl did with Nirvana, where all that stuff that he didn't think was really like Nirvana music turned into the Foo Fighters. Andrew McMahon did that with Jack's Mannequin.
And then what didn't fit in there?
And then he like just kind of took a left turn that got a little bit more electronic-y and more synthesizer than like a traditional piano and started Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness. And it's
I think Jack's Mannequin's the only one I've heard of. Like,
and I bet you heard a ton of that back when we were hanging out. Like I was way into Jack's Mannequin back then, way into him. And I saw them and Panic at the Disco in the same show, which is super goofy.
Same. I saw Jack's Mannequin and Panic at the Disco.
At the Garden?
No, at
or the Palace, I mean. I saw him at the Palace.
No, at Pine Knob.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So Drama just messaged me his last pick.
I did.
It's a great pick. I wish that he would have given me time to have it ready. I can at least throw.
Feel like it needs it. I don't, because I don't. But it could need it.
If I find a great one right away, I'm
all right
throwing it up there.
It won't have the. I think this dude. He's got pipes, man. And as far as energetic live, I've never seen anybody like him on stage because I've only seen their concert on video, not on hey, there you are. I've only ever seen their concert through video and not actually been there to experience it. But
I've seen him 4 times.
Jack Black and Tenacious D. Come on.
Is that a band? I don't think you do.
Tenacious D is definitely a band.
Literally,
2 albums. They
No.
put out 2 albums, 2 absolute bangers. I'm telling you, Jack Black, that Tenacious D is definitely in there. I had like Lane Staley. I had all the look at his face. He's so stupid.
But I think weren't they nominated for best comedy album? It's not even like
5 years in a row.
Fuck Her Gently, dude. Still good. It's the vocals.
It is my favorite song to play at any bar that has a jukebox.
Right?
If they have that song on it, I have played it. It is amazing.
The skits, everything about him, like, and his voice, dude. Like,
he's got a good voice.
So
deactivated lasers with my dick.
So this is a good segue because I saw Tenacious D live 4 times, and the first time I saw them, they were the middle act in a 3-band set, and it was Jimmy Eat World, then Tenacious D, and then Weezer. And I thought for sure somebody was going to say Rivers Cuomo, and we didn't get Rivers Cuomo. So that's the transition. That's the segue here. Just I'm going to give you the highlights of people that were either mentioned on one of y'all's list or not mentioned, and we didn't hear. Just the highlights. Eddie Vedder didn't get mentioned.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Nobody picked Eddie Vedder. Nobody picked Kurt Cobain. Both were mentioned but not picked.
When he took Cornell, I was like, I'm throwing Lane Staley out because I can't do Cornell and Lane Staley.
Right. So Lane Staley's another one. Bruce Springsteen.
The Boss.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger. I couldn't believe nobody took Mick Jagger. We just lost Todd. He got so mad about it. That was because of Mick Jagger.
His laptop exploded.
His laptop died. Roger Daltrey.
From The Who.
Yep. Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy.
There was a bunch that I didn't put on the list because it was like they're solo
I
guys.
didn't put Cobain on because I was like,
I didn't put Prince on there.
How about Gavin Rossdale from Bush?
From Bush.
Danielle just
I
texted
picked
me.
that as my last one.
Brandon Boyd from Incubus. That's another band that sounds exactly the same live.
We opened for Incubus. They were really cool guys.
I've seen Incubus, and they are very good live.
Yeah, and they're really nice people too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. We opened up for them when I was in Pinion. The band I was in.
Pinion! I fucking forgot about Pinion.
Well, this was the second version of Pinion, but yeah.
So, okay, here's who else we missed. Bob Seger.
he was on my list.
My mom kissed Bob Seger.
Nice.
Danielle has told me a few times that she thinks Bob Seger might be her dad.
Nice.
Ryan Tedder was one that I thought somebody would pick.
Making those night moves.
Ryan Tedder from One Republic, mostly just based on his absurdly huge catalog of solo work and co-writing work. Jack Antonoff, Mike Patton.
I had Mike Patton, but what band do you pick? That was
It doesn't matter. Faith No More or Fantomas. I'm good with either.
Yeah, he was in Meshuggah for a while too.
Jesus Christ, I didn't even know that. All right,
Yeah.
Bon Scott. I hate AC/DC.
Yeah, but Bon Scott was the better of the two AC/DC singers, though.
100%
for sure.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm only hitting. If you see that I'm missing one, I'm sorry. But Lane Staley should have been picked more than likely. I would have picked him over Chris Cornell if I'm being totally honest.
I went back and forth between Serge.
Serge Tankian was missed.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews was on somebody's list but didn't get
that
picked.
Was on my list.
Who had Dave Matthews?
Drama had Dave Matthews.
That I would not have picked to be on your list.
Morrissey.
Right. Morrissey was on my list too.
Yeah. Morrissey's that's a tough one.
I thought about having that. That was my last pick was like Jack Black or Morrissey. But I already went with Robert Smith. For I
was gonna say, once you picked Robert Smith, I assumed you weren't gonna pick Morrissey.
Right,
that's way too sad bastard.
Yeah, way too much.
Tom York.
Tom York.
Liam Gallagher. Michael Stipe.
Who had Liam Gallagher on their list? That was you, Todd?
Oh yeah, T Money down there. He had Michael Stipe too, I believe.
From REM?
You know who else would have had Michael Stipe on their list? Leo Calero. Devin and Danielle's dad would have had Michael Stipe on there. He loves REM. It's the weirdest. So
as soon as he was able to
Trent Reznor on mine.
Service,
ooh, Trent Reznor. I'm surprised that one didn't get brought up.
Well, here's the thing though with Reznor. I threw a mini objection at Reznor because he is 9 Inch Nails. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Right.
It's almost like it's just a named solo act. It would be like the dude from AWOL Nation. You know what I mean? Like it's just him. It's just a name for him.
I thought for sure you were going to pick him, Dev.
But I'll tell you, the one that I was most surprised didn't get picked, I'm just going to throw him up here for everybody to see. How in the world?
He's tainted right now, man.
How? Because he looks like somebody's grandma?
No, he just has sexual assault allegations.
He has what? He's getting Me Too'd?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, he is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that shit.
But what? Really? Like, why wait this long?
Steven Tyler named a sexual assault lawsuit 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
I didn't know
Not
that.
only that, it's child. It's
that's far worse. That's far worse. I'm gonna say something, and I don't want you to think that I'm okay with him sexually abusing children. Even knowing that, if you're talking about a list of best frontmen of all time, it's hard for me to imagine Steven Tyler not being on it.
It was
I get it.
And it was sexual assault and coercion of abortion.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, this one's
anyway. So yeah, so Steven Tyler.
Move along. Let's not touch
that.
Move along.
In hindsight, Steven Tyler's a scumbag. But yeah. So yeah, I think that was a pretty successful draft. I'm gonna go over the list. I think Danielle claims that she was writing it all down. And I think my plan here is to grade the draft based on my personal opinions, and I don't care what you guys think. And then we'll either go over the grade at the beginning of next week, or I'll post it on Facebook or something with some reasoning. But yeah,
real quick.
Uh-oh.
There's an 8th round. Who does everyone pick?
Chevelle.
Chevelle.
The lead singer for Chevelle.
Is his name Joe Chevelle?
I don't know.
Just Chevelle.
I had him written down somewhere. I left the room, so I don't have it.
If I had to pick an 8th round, Steve Perry, maybe.
I think I'm going Burt McCracken.
Steve Perry was on the list. Danielle said Burt McCracken from The Used.
Nice. Oh, I like The Used too. I thought about doing My Chemical Romance or
I thought you were going
like
Gerard Way.
I thought Gerard Way was going to be on somebody's list, and I never saw him.
I thought about it, but I was like, really? It's such a difficult genre.
Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah,
I had him on my list. I had him on my list.
Both,
but
you
he's
and
a single
Todd
act.
both did.
He's a single
He
act.
was no, because he was the lead singer of Deep Purple to start with.
And he was the lead singer.
Then he was the lead singer of
Dio.
Black Sabbath.
Nobody knows him from the lead singer of Deep Purple.
Or Black Sabbath, for that matter.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry, Todd. We're
Todd
not all
does.
Black Sabbath super fans.
Whoa,
Todd
wait,
just
You
told
don't-
us.
you
that
don't
there's-
I
like
know
that.
that he was
And
in
are you
Black
recording
Sabbath.
in front of? Are you recording in front of Marcellus Wallace's briefcase right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's so bright. I can't even see his
Take a-
face.
Take a cigarette.
No, the other one, and Drama mentioned the band. Actually, Todd mentioned the band, and then Drama shit on him a little bit. I thought somebody would pick Bradley Noel just to pander to me. So, if you guys really don't like, if you don't like Sublime, I'm sorry, but
I like Sublime. I think my
I love
pick would have
Bradley.
been Jeff Lynne.
oh yeah, Jeff Lynne was mentioned, and I had a picture
No
ready for him,
Lennon,
too.
no McCartney.
Well, I think I
No,
talked
who's the lead
everybody
singer
out
of
of
the
Lennon and
Beatles?
McCartney.
That's because the Beatles
They
suck.
all are.
Oh, Drama hates the Beatles. I forgot.
Everybody but
but
Ringo's
Who's
a
I
lead
don't
singer.
hate
the
him.
lead singer?
yeah, that's the
Every-
thing. I think I talked everybody out of Lennon and McCartney
Yeah.
because it's. I don't know.
Listen, I
No, I
throw
agree.
George in that hat. I'm sorry.
David Lee Roth.
I love George.
David. So I have a picture for David Lee Roth too.
Does he light the menorah?
He does. He's Jewish now. Was he the better lead singer?
I like a lot.
Not even close.
Not Van
Yeah.
Hagar. Yeah. All right.
Joe
So if you're
Oi!
still listening, and I hope you are, feel free, like I said, on Facebook, anybody who's listening, watching on Facebook, put some topics out there and we'll draft them. We've got a bunch actually in the queue. We got a lot that we're already thinking about doing, but we're always open to more suggestions. And yeah,
Fictional band.
that's a half
we wouldn't
developed
get
thought that we
seven.
can
Yeah,
discuss
we would
later.
not get 7 rounds of fictional bands.
Oh, I could.
We might get 3 rounds. I'm like,
Three.
Gorillas.
all I have is Stillwater from
They're
Almost
fictional
Famous.
characters.
Stillwater
them.
from Almost Famous for sure.
That's it. And if
They're
we did
on it.
fictional songs, I'm picking all their songs, all of Infant Sorrow's songs, and that's it.
I'm
That's
taking
all
the
good.
wedding
Infinite
band.
Sorrow.
I'm
Nice.
taking the
Infant
wedding
Sorrow.
band from old school.
Right, the
Yeah.
Dan band. They're real though. That's
They're
not
real,
fictional.
yeah.
I almost
They're
hired
real.
them for our wedding.
Oh my
it was
God,
$5,000 at the time.
I'm
That's
gonna
so worth
I'm
it.
gonna
Jesus
take
Christ.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the band. Is it from Euro Trip?
the Scotty
Oh, with
doesn't
Matt-
know.
Oh,
Matt
that's the real
Damon was
band.
the-
Called
You were
Lustra.
Matt Damon's the lead singer.
Yeah, he's the lead
Matt
singer.
Damon leading Lustra.
I'm
All right.
thinking Powerline.
Okay, so we're clearly not going to do fictional bands at any point, but yeah, we'll figure out some more topics, and we'll see you next time on Aggressively Wrong.
Bang bang.
Bang bang. Oh, where's my beep boop.